How and where and did the idea of the papacy come into being?
Well, speaking from a Catholic perspective, it's something that Jesus came up with. He commissioned St. Peter to be the leader of the church in his absence. You can see that happening in the same passage I mentioned, Matthew 16, where he talks to St. Peter and tells him, "You are Peter," and of course that name means rock. And he says, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." And so he makes Peter, in one sense, the foundation of his church. Now, obviously, he's the foundation of his church in another sense, and the other apostles are foundations of his church in another sense. And if you look through different passages in Scripture, you'll see all of those images used. But that doesn't take away from the fact that in an important sense, he made Peter the leader. And consequently, when he ascended to heaven, Peter was left in charge, working with the other apostles. And then when they passed from the scene, because the church still needed leadership, the apostles passed on their role of guiding the church to the bishops and to the Bishop of Rome, in particular as the successor of Peter, because that's where Peter died. Peter moved to Rome and was martyred there by the Emperor Nero in the AD 60s, and so that's where he left his successor.
All right, so from that comes the position of the Pope, leader of the church. Explain the Pope to us in the sense, because some people say he's infallible. Is that true?
In limited circumstances, the Pope can exercise the gift of infallibility that Christ wanted his church to have. Christ wanted his church to have the ability to teach the faithful authoritatively and have them know that what they were hearing was authentically true. And so as a result, he gave his church the ability to teach without error, which is what infallibly means, when it exercises that gift. Now, that doesn't happen all the time. Not everything the Pope says is infallible. But on very solemn special occasions, the Pope can teach infallibly, as can, for example, certain kinds of church councils, like the Council of Nicaea, which infallibly defined the fact that Jesus is God. He's not a created being like the Arians said or the Jehovah's Witnesses might say today. He is, in fact, God the Son. That's something that was defined infallibly by a church council.
Has there been any major changes one way or the other from infallible teachings of the Pope? I mean, maybe even the differences, I think we're going to get into this time, the differences between Pope John Paul and, or Pope John and then Pope Benedict. Has there been any major differences doctrinally in the Church?
Well, not regarding anything that's been infallibly taught. If something's infallibly taught, then it can't change. You can learn more about it. You can refine your understanding of it. You can see it in a new context, but it's a true point. So nothing that's been infallibly defined has changed. There are many things, though, in fact, most of the things that the Church teaches have not been infallibly defined. And so there's room for what's referred to as doctrinal development on those points.
Okay.